What if your business was so successful that it actually became a problem? Well, that is the bizarre reality for one supermarket chain in China that's gone completely viral for basically breaking every rule in the business playbook. Today, we're digging into how they're making so much money that the founder is genuinely getting worried.
And I am not kidding. The company's founder, Yu Donglai, basically admitted he was stressed out because they'd blown past their profit goal by 7 times. Can you imagine that? That is a problem I think most CEOs would love to have.
And this so-called problem is not going away anytime soon. I mean, after hitting 10 billion yuan in sales last year, they are on track for 15 billion this year. That is a 40% jump in just 12 months. Just wild.
So here is the real mystery. This isn't some huge retail giant in a massive city like Shanghai or Beijing. Pangdonglai has just 13 stores, and they're in what you'd call smaller, Tier 3 cities. So in a market that is absolutely brutal, how in the world is this small, local chain pulling off this kind of impossible success?
To really wrap your head around what's happening, we've got to look at the numbers. Because when you put Pangdonglai side by side with its huge publicly traded competitors, the story gets even crazier.
Okay, this is where it just gets mind-boggling. With only 13 stores, Pangdonglai isn't just profitable. It's making more money than a competitor with over 450 stores. And then you look at Yonghui Supermarket, they've got over 1,000 locations, and they're losing billions. It's a total David versus Goliath story, playing out right in the grocery aisle.
And, a performance like this is gonna get noticed. The story absolutely exploded on Chinese social media. A hashtag about Pangdonglai's profits shot up to the #2 trending topic on Weibo, pulling in more than 32 million views. People just could not believe what they were seeing.
So what is their secret? Well, it all starts with a business model that just flips conventional wisdom completely on its head. It's not about squeezing every penny for shareholders. It's about where the money actually goes.
Okay, get this. An incredible 95% of the company's profits go straight back to its 8,000 employees. The company itself only keeps 5%. It is a completely radical profit-sharing model, and it's built on a pretty simple idea. If you make your people wealthy, your business will thrive.
And it's not just about the employees either. This whole people-first philosophy extends right to the customers. For instance, the profit margin on a lot of the medicines they sell is barely over 10%. Which is way below most other drugstores. You can imagine the kind of trust and loyalty that builds. But this goes so much deeper than just money. This philosophy of putting people first is woven into the very DNA of the company, all the way down to who they decide to hire.
So, check this out. The company was getting ready to open a new store. They needed to hire 1,000 new people. But it's who they specifically went looking for that tells you everything you need to know about this company.
Out of those 1,000 new hires, Pangdonglai specifically set aside 200 jobs for retired soldiers who had served in some really tough, remote regions. And then, and this is the part that's really surprising, they reserved 20 jobs for former inmates who had already served their time. That's a group that has an incredibly hard time finding work.
And this is where the founder's philosophy just comes through so clearly. When he was asked about hiring former inmates, he said he has served his prison term and become a normal person now. Discrimination only causes greater harm. This isn't some PR stunt. You can tell it's a deeply held belief.
So what does all of this add up to? Is there even a name for this crazy mix of radical generosity and really smart business? Well, as it turns out, there is.
It's what the business world calls a differentiation strategy. And it's a classic idea, really. It just means you stand out from the competition, not by being the cheapest, but by providing some kind of unique value that nobody else can easily copy. And, well, Pangdonglai is a masterclass in this.
What makes them so different isn't just one single thing. It's this powerful combination. They've got carefully selected products, a brand that's built entirely on trust, customer service that's become legendary, and, of course, that insane 95% profit-sharing model. It's a whole formula that's just about impossible for their competitors to replicate. So all of this leaves us with a really big question. Is Pangdonglai's success just some local fluke, something that could only work in that one specific place? Or have they stumbled upon a brilliant new blueprint for business, a model of radical generosity that could actually change how companies operate everywhere? The answer could really shape the future of retail.